Welcome to this tutorial session. If you are here, then you are definitely interested in learning Excel. In this series of tutorial, we are going to learn Excel right from the rookie or the beginner level to the advanced level, right? So this is my Excel. You can launch your Excel. First, to launch Excel, you will have to have the Microsoft Office suite installed on your PC. Now, whilst it is installed, you can launch it either from your start menu, or you can just search from the start menu as well and then launch it. So for example, if I would want to launch it from my start menu, I'll just go to my start menu, and then this is Excel. I can launch it, or I can just search Excel if it is not in my start menu. So this is it, and I will launch it. Now when you launch Excel, on the home page, you have the option to create a new blank workbook, or you are able to also select from templates. So these are templates that has been created and then embedded in Excel already, right? You can also come to this page, that is the new tab. You can click on the new tab, and then the templates are separated from the workbook. So you can see the workbook and the templates here, and then a new blank workbook here. So since we are new to Excel, we are going to look at a blank workbook. Now this is a blank Excel workbook, right? We are going to take a look at the interface and some basic terminologies, right? So we'll start from the very top here. Now on the top here, they have different sections. Here, from this dash looking button to the X looking button, we call it the control box. It is a control box because from here you can minimize the Excel, you can resize it to different sizes or orientations on the screen, and then you can also close the Excel from here. Here you can call it your name box or your account box. It shows the Microsoft account that you are logged into. And this is the search button. On this search button, you are able to search some functionalities in Excel without navigating through different processes or multiple processes. So for example, if I click on it, it will show me my recent searched functions or my recent searched features, and then I can just perform whatever I want to do from this search box, right? So that's one part of Excel. Here is the title bar. Okay, so it shows the title of the software and then the title of the workbook. This is a new workbook, so it just names it book 1. Here, what you see here is the quick access bar. So you can also change where they appear or where the access bar appears. So by the clicking of this drop down arrow, you are able to either show it below, so you see it's below the ribbon, or you can also show it above the ribbon. It depends on what you want. Now you can also choose to disable it altogether, but we'll get to that whilst we navigate through the interface. Now we'll come here. Now this whole box that you see here is called the ribbon, including these tabs and then these plenty icons or images that you see here, right? This is called a ribbon. You can hide and then show only the tabs, or you can just click on it to show. Now in this mode, it means that when I am done working on this ribbon, and then I take my mouse off the ribbon and then click anywhere in the sheet, the ribbon minimizes back into tabs. However, if I double click on the tabs, it pins the ribbon, right? Now let's explore the ribbon. Now on the ribbon, we have tabs, as I said earlier. So these are tabs. So we have the home tab, we have the menu tab. Your Excel might not have this menu tab. That is no problem, right? We have the insert tab, we have the page layouts, formulas, and then all that, right? Now under these tabs, okay, we have groups. We have what we call groups. So for example, under the menu tab, we have the clipboard group, we have the font group, we have the alignment group, we have the number group, the styles group, up to the editing group, right? So for your own study, You can also go through the rest of the tabs here and then find out what other groups that you can find there. Now, within the groups, we have what we call command buttons. So under the clipboard group, we have the format painter button, we have the copy button, we have the cut button, and then we have the paste button. Right? Under the font group, or within the font group, we have the bold, the italics, the underline, we have page borders, we have fill color, we have font color, resize, and then what have you. So you can also explore other tabs, look into the groups, and then find out what command buttons that you can find. Now let's proceed. Now, just under the ribbon, we have two different boxes. Here, what you see here is called the formula bar. What you see here is called the formula bar. And here is called the cell name box, or you can just call it name box. So we have the name box and then the formula bar. What happens, or what these two boxes or two bars does, is that the formula bar is used to insert data into these white boxes that you see here, these small rectangles that you see here. We'll identify them as we move on. So for example, if I click here and then I type anything here, that data is entered into this white triangle. This name box tells you the name of the box that you have clicked, or these rectangles that you have clicked. So you can see A4. If I click, you can see C3. Now this brings us to here and here, and then the white page that you are seeing here. Now, these small rectangles are called cells. They are called cells. So cells are named by the column name and then the row number. So what you see here, this one, are columns, and then what you see here are rows. So from 1 up to 30 here is called rows, and then from A up to W is called columns, right? So cells are named by their column letter, or let's say column letter, and their row number. So if I click here, here is what? Let me color it so that we can see it. I'll color it black. So this is the what? The intersection of E and 6. The intersection of what? E and 6. So the name therefore is what? Cell E6. Now what you are seeing here is an Excel sheet. What you are seeing here is an Excel sheet. Now there are two things to notice here. We have an Excel workbook, and then we have an Excel worksheet, right? Now a workbook is a combination of different Excel sheets. A workbook is a combination of different Excel sheets, whilst an Excel sheet is just one Excel page. So you can see from the bottom here, we have what? Sheet 1. I can add another sheet, we call it sheet 2. I can add another sheet, we call it sheet 3. Now these 3 sheets together makes a workbook. However, one worksheet can still make a workbook. The workbook is your Excel file. The workbook is the Excel file itself. So when you open the Excel work or the Excel file, whatever you see there are called the sheets. So you can have multiple sheets in one workbook, but you can have only one workbook. So we can have sheets in a book, but we cannot have workbook in sheets. Please notice. So when you save any Excel document, it is just one workbook. But when you open it, you can have multiples of worksheets in that Excel workbook. Let's move on. So here, the button here is called the status bar. Now, what the status bar does is that it gives you the status of the workbook or the book that you are working in. So, for example, if I save this worksheet, so I'll save it in my document and I'll say test, right? So, save, right? So you can see that during the saving process, the ready disappeared and now it's back. So it says what? In ready mode. So the status bar just gives the status of the sheet. If, for example, if we have data, right? So these are data that I've input. Now, if I select these 3 cells, you can see that it gives us what? The count. So it says what? How many cells? There are 3. Okay, so the number of selected cells that contain data is what? 3. This is the sum of the selected cells. So we have 3 and 1, that is 4. The S, it doesn't add it because it is not a number. And it gives us what? The average. So this small bar at the bottom here just gives us the status of the sheet that we are working in or the workbook that we are working in. Right? What we have here is our scroll bar. Another one is here, right? So this is a row for the row and this for the column. So yes, that is just about it for today about the Excel interface.